Hi, I'm Heather.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And we're your Thursday couple on... Dun, dun, dun.
For a couple of days.
Yes. And it's our first week. So we're going to spend a couple minutes filling you in about who we are. And then we're going to get down to the topic.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah, for this week. So they want us to tell our names, how old we are, where we live, what we do, and basically how awesome we are.
Okay.
And we do both have hair. We were just saying that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, names. We already said that.
Yep, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Heather. And I'm 30. It's my second year of being 30. When I had my birthday this year, it was my second annual 30th birthday. Because I just want to kind of stay at 30 for a while.
So if you do the math, she's 31. I'm 22.
Do you see why I want to stay at 30 now? What do we do? Where do we live?
What do I do? I'm a student teacher at Rosa Parks. It's a Spanish immersion program. I don't speak any Spanish, but I'm learning.
She has been to Guatemala, though.
Yeah, I have been to Guatemala. It was awesome. I also work at South Dakota Chief, which is a place for mentally handicapped individuals, people with disabilities.
Which is why she can handle me.
Yep.
She takes me, side note, we go out on dates or go out on dinner, and she wears her Achieve shirt. Like she's out, like she's taking me out to, yeah. Okay, keep rolling. Where do we live?
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota. We have a personal channel, and we've kind of explained how awesome it is to be lesbians in South Dakota. But she's going to be a coach, so she's going to get a teaching degree, but the kind of fun part about us is we have the potential of moving. So we might not always be in South Dakota.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. And I work for the school district. I'm Native American myself, so the last probably 8 years I've worked in healthcare or education when it comes to helping Indian country. So now I'm a Native American liaison. People don't really know what a liaison is. I don't really know what a liaison is. Basically, I just connect with our families and communicate with the school and do some pretty cool stuff with the kids and the families. So that's us. I'm sure throughout these weeks you'll kind of get to know us a little bit more. If you have any questions and you want to get to know something about us, we're pretty open about sharing our life. We're really excited about being on this channel. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with the questions of this week. And I think that they're pretty fitting for us and where we're at. So the first part of the question is, how do you deal with people who don't accept you for the way that you are? Our initial reaction, how do we move on, and how do we know when you've gone too far to explain your side? Do you want to go first? How do we deal with people who don't accept? Okay, I don't really give a beep what people think about us, but I will say that it took me a long time in my life to come out, or I guess to really realize that it was okay to be gay. It was okay to like girls, because I grew up in a town that was really small, so like nobody accepted me there. And now as I've gotten older and I've come out, I had a lot of friends who used to be really cool with me, and then all of a sudden, because I told them that I was open about this part of my life, then they didn't want to be my friend anymore. So that was kind of, it was emotionally hard for me, because who really wants to lose friends? I guess it was more of a reality check of, I invested a lot of time in my friends, and then they just kind of dumped me because of this part of me. I've always been who I am. I always care about the same things. I feel like I'm still a good friend. But I think through everything, we have some really cool friends now. I've realized who in my life I can trust, who's been there. So when it comes to like friends, I guess I've weeded out the people who just don't care, and I don't hang out with people who are questionable or on the fence about how they feel about my relationship, because I am very open about it. We don't hide who we are. Now when it comes to work, it's a little bit different. kind of funny because one of the ladies I work with, you know who I'm talking about, sits right next to me. Really had an awkward, we had a very awkward exchange. Even when, like, Vanessa would bring flowers in or balloons in, and she was kind of awkward with her. And honestly, I think that in our state, people still think, like, lesbians or gays are, like, these two-headed monsters that they don't really know, like, how they act. And sometimes it takes, I had one of my friends tell us that it took knowing us to change their viewpoint on same-sex relationships. And so I think that's what's happened in work, because I don't hide who I am, but I don't really, like, open up and explain. So work's been interesting, but overall people are okay. Our families have been another story. I think if it wasn't for having us in their family, I don't know if they'd really be, like, super open. I mean, nobody's hurtful with their words, or nobody's, like, mean. I think it's just people getting used to us. Now we're getting married in May. Now that's been interesting, finding vendors who accept us. You know, and we've had, like, even an organization, a nonprofit, tell us, you know, well, if we want to go after them for discrimination, or because we've had places literally hang up on us, or price do, like, triples, and just, you can't really hide Heather and Vanessa being, like, two girls' names. But we've just decided that we'll put our energy into promoting the places who do support us. I mean, it's not really worth the energy to call people out or force them to want to be a part of this. Do you want to add anything? I feel like I'm just running my mouth a lot.
You ramble. But I've been that way my whole life. I just don't put up with people that don't accept me. So, and I have more of a laid-back personality, so it doesn't bother me. If you like me, you're going to like me no matter what. If you don't, you don't. I'm not going to force you either way. And so I don't really ever explain my side. I don't ever say, hey, I'm a lesbian. Everyone knows. Everyone since I was little has known. So I've never really had to, I guess, explain. And if I ever did, those people don't matter. If it takes explaining, it doesn't. Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't really bother me. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. Bam! Our initial reaction. I guess to people not accepting who we are. We just don't care.
Yeah.
If anything, I just hate some of the comments that people have. Like, especially because we're not butch lesbians, or, like, I'm kind of girly. So, you know, you get the people who have stupid comments about being too pretty or too girly, or, I mean, people are just dumb. So initial reaction to stuff like that is just stupidity, ignorance. I mean, but whatever. We move on. How do we move on? Just keep it moving. I mean,
and when you live in a state that doesn't accept it, you're kind of forced to just move on. If you try to fight it every day, you'd be trying to
you'd make yourself
row
crazy.
A boat upstream. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I think that's why we're part of channels like this, to find connections. I mean, there's other people out there who are understanding the same stuff that we're going through, and yeah, so that's how we move on. We don't really let it bother us. And how do you know when you've gone too far explaining your side? We don't really.
Yeah, you don't. You go too far when you have to explain. Like.
A good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your friends want more, like, how does this work, or how does, like, a lot of our friends ask, how does the whole marriage thing work here? What doesn't work? Like, we don't have gay marriage in South Dakota.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that explaining, but not when people don't accept me. I don't try to explain that I'm just like you, only better.
Only better. Yeah, I think if we explain, it's because we love our friends because they have become comfortable enough with us to ask us questions. I mean, I think everybody needs to sometimes just educate themselves to be comfortable with things, and maybe that's, like, we were at a softball meeting tonight, and our coach was just kindly asked, I'm just trying to understand, how does the whole wedding thing work, you know, and once we explain it, they're not weird or, I mean, people just want to know. So, I mean, if you have questions, and maybe, you know, we're pretty laid back. She's laid back. I run my mouth a lot, but not on this topic because I can't change people. It's too big of a battle. I mean, there's other things that we can work on. And we're happy who we are, and I think that if any couple, if you can just be in love and not let the outside society influence how you are in your own relationship, it's always going to be positive. So we don't let those things bother us. We just keep it moving. So we're so excited again to be a part of this. We're your Thursday girls. Ask us any questions. Check out For a Couple of Gays on Facebook. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.